It's going to be amazing.
Oh,
So we're requesting,
that could only take place in Texas.
It was rescheduled.
so we're requesting permission that she be able to go out of state for that.
Court does call the case, People versus Kristen Lucas.
Good morning, Your Honor. Marcia Critch on behalf of Ms. Lucas. Your Honor, if I may,
Yes.
Your Honor, we'd be asking for an adjournment. I was been informed by Ms. Hughes that there are still approximately four felony matters coming down, and we'd like to obtain some sort of global resolution. I spoke with Ms. Hughes. We are suggesting if the court would grant a 3-week adjournment.
Will that be enough time to try to get it all together? Probable cause will be adjourned November 21st, 2024, 9 a.m. Bond continued.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court calls case People versus James Belleville.
Edward Drucas on behalf of James Bevel. He just walked out to the restroom. Here he is.
Go ahead.
James Michael Belleville.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I'm asking for an adjournment in this case. I submitted a green form.
There's a competency review.
There is, that's set out of Romulus. Their review date is November 27th.
Their review date is the 27th of November.
Correct.
All right. Then what I'll do is I'll adjourn this to December 5th, 2024, 9 a.m. Bond continued.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court calls case People versus Spencer Allen.
Morning, Your Honor. Mike Gaddy, Assistant Public Defender on behalf of Mr. Allen, who is here to my right. State your name, Mr. Allen. Spencer Allen. Your Honor, I have had a chance to discuss this matter with the Assistant Prosecutor and with Mr. Allen. I've informed Mr. Allen of his right to a preliminary examination, and he wishes to waive that right. As part of that waiver, the people have agreed not to add a charge of a felony firearm in this matter. They have not agreed not to habitualize him. I believe if they did, he would be a habitual third.
I'm just confirming that would be a habitual third, and I don't think it was.
All right. So you're waiving your right to a preliminary examination?
Yes.
You understand that that's a proceeding where the people would have to show by probable cause that the offenses alleged were committed and that you committed them?
Yes.
And you understand you will not have that hearing and that you'll proceed to circuit court for further resolution? People also waive the right?
Yes.
Preliminary examination having been waived, defendant is bound over to circuit court on all 4 counts. Mr. Gaddy.
Your Honor, in terms of the information in this matter, we'd acknowledge receipt. In terms of the arraignment, we'd waive reading, stand mute, ask the court to set a pretrial.
Defendant having waived form of reading, standing mute, court will enter a not guilty plea as to all counts. Pretrial will be set for
November 14th, 1:30 before Judge Slate Thursday.
November 14th, 2024, 1:30, Slade Thursday.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Bond continued. Thank you. Court calls case People versus Alan Bryant.
Edward Drucas on behalf of Alan Bryant.
Thank you.
We're looking for a preliminary examination, Your Honor.
All discovery is complete.
Yes, Your Honor.
People would have their witnesses available the 12th. Preliminary examination in person, November 12th, 2024, 9 a.m. That is before Judge Burke. Bond will continue.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Court calls the case of the People versus Danielle Sikimola.
Okay. Somebody, there's 2 cases up. I'm on.
I know.
Your Honor, my office conflicted off of our matter, so I have been pointed out. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Your Honor. Marcia Critch on behalf of, I'd be asking for an adjournment if there's a conflict. So new counsel can be appointed and the 2 cases tracked together, Your Honor.
Which case have you been already appointed on?
Excuse,
1011.
yes, thank you, Your Honor.
Sure, Your Honor.
Yep.
Which case are you, why don't we do it this way? Which case are you conflicting off?
We're conflicting off of 1413, Your Honor.
All right, I have Ms. Cratcher on that case. So you're on both cases, apparently.
Okay, all right. We'll be asking adjournment in that matter for further plea negotiations, and because there's still some issues that we need to go through with the defendant, public defender. So I'll fill out another form then, Your Honor, for the 1413 matter.
Probable cause conference in these matters will be adjourned November 14th, 2024, 9 a.m. Bond continued. Court calls case of the People versus Tamara Shukite.
Tamara Shukite.
Your Honor, I'm asking for an adjournment. There's some additional video that I'm looking or requesting from the prosecutor.
The last time there was an adjournment for video, what, there's more?
I received a 911 call. I didn't receive any video. I can certainly check the prosecutor's office to see if there is any.
I'm just saying, last time I adjourned, it was because there was video. And now I'm getting another adjournment regarding video. Has more video come in or? what?
I haven't received any, Your Honor. I don't know if there is any. It is an older case.
And your only here was that this is a case from 2022, and we had to get new links sent out because these links expire after a certain amount of time from this police agency. So we are working on that.
Probable cause conference will be adjourned November 14th, 2024, 9 a.m. Bond continued.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court calls case People versus Ryan. Is it?
Mr. Ryan Dykus is the. Ryan, could you state your name for the record, please?
Ryan Dyke.
Your Honor, today's the date and time set for probable cause conference. We would respectfully request that this matter be set for preliminary examination. And we'd also like to address bond, Your Honor.
Discovery is complete.
To our knowledge, Judge.
People have their witnesses available the 12th.
We'll do our best.
Probable or preliminary examination will be set November 12th, 2024, 9 a.m. in person before Judge Burke. Quickly, Esteban.
Your Honor, we are asking that my client be released. Mr. Dykus has been suffering from some significant health issues. We do understand that there are a few holds in the system. He indicated that those holds have been there for some time. He was in Oakland County before he was released to Washtenaw County, and Washtenaw picked him up. But my understanding from him, Your Honor, is that the other holds or counties did not. There is a bond denied out of Wayne County. He says that that is based on his probation. It's just a probation violation. He knows that once he reaches there, they are aware of this situation. They just want to book him and release him. He suffered from a TBI in 2020. He has now been developing new stroke-like symptoms. He indicated that he had a stroke while he was in Oakland County. He's had I don't know if they're mini strokes or more stroke-like symptoms while he has been here. There was significant follow-up that was required by the doctor when he suffered the stroke in Oakland County. He has not been able to do any of that follow-up. That was about 2 weeks ago. He's still complaining of numbness and tingling and some other neurological issues while here. He really wants to get that matter taken care of, or at least he's okay with a GPS tether if the court wants to do that to make sure that they know where he is. I know the issue with multiple holds and how individuals can get lost in the system, but we do believe that his health issues may be much more prevalent than what we know of.
Response.
So he has 6 holds, one out of Dearborn City, which is $250 for a traffic hold, an MSP Metro South hold, Harper Woods PD for $570, and then 2 holds out of Wayne County. He was on probation for fleeing third and larceny from a firearm out of Wayne County when this conduct occurred in December of 2023. He has an extensive history, conviction for fleeing third, and then 2 convictions for larceny of firearms. This is a strangulation with multiple counts hanging underneath this strangulation. I understand he has health issues, but I don't think any reduction at this point is appropriate, given the fact that we requested $100,000 bond and he was.
And Your Honor, just very briefly, I do want the court to understand the date of this offense is from 2023, Your Honor. He has not had any
Was
issues
he on probation at the time that this allegedly occurred?
based on what I'm looking in.
Motion for bond reduction denied.
Thank you.
Bond will be.
Thank you, Judge.
Court calls the case People versus, is it Desiana Bell?
Edward Lucas on behalf of Daisy Annabelle.
Annabelle.
Thank you.
Can I ask him for an adjournment? There's some plea negotiations that I want to.
Be adjourned November 21st, 2024, 9 a.m. Bond continues.
Thank you.
Thank you. Court calls case People versus Demetrius Caldwell.
Morning, man. Please, this Honorable Court, Kareem Johnson, on behalf of Demetrius Caldwell, stands to my immediate right.
Sir, state your name.
Demetrius Caldwell.
Questioning an adjournment.
Yes, Your Honor. We requested adjournment. I was appointed on Tuesday. I have not received discovery yet. Also, after speaking with the APA assigned to the matter, I believe my client is under a competency review in another matter. I do not have the case number or aware of that case.
Cause conference November 14th, 2024, 9 a.m.
Your Honor, may I address my client's bond?
You may briefly.
Your Honor, my client does indicate he does have a location he can go to. His brother Jalen, 701 Miller, Ann Arbor. He was working at Happy's Pizza when he was arrested, graduated high school, Wayne Memorial, lifelong Michigan resident, and is under a care of a guardian. He has been removed from the location in which these allegations arise. I don't believe anybody was physically hurt. I do not believe that he's a flight risk or danger to the community at large. Ask the court to grant a personal bond.
Response,
Please tell me what the bond is currently set at.
2,500 cash surety.
That did involve allegations of threats of violence and particular concern, especially with, we asked the court to continue the bond is currently set, by that it was within use of discretion.
Do the people know where the other competency case is?
I don't have that information right this moment, Your Honor.
All right. Well, until I get some information on that, I'm not inclined to change his bond. Motion for bond reduction denied, bonds will continue.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
You know what I'm gonna say? Huh? Stop talking to me? Okay, all right, fine. Clerk calls the case, People versus Akila Burks.
Good morning, Your Honor. Tina Saxon on behalf of Akila Burks, who's standing to my right. Ms. Burks, state your name for the court.
Akila Burks.
Thank you. You're requesting an adjournment for discovery.
Yes.
Probable cause conference, November 14th, 2024, 9 a.m. Bond continued. Thank you.
Thank you.
Court calls case People versus Edward Graboszewski. I said, no, I didn't.
You're right.
Why are you correcting me? Why are you correcting me? You get a new last name and now you're correcting people. Mr. Feaster, did I call it correctly?
I think you did, Judge.
Yes, thank you.
Torshell Feaster, Assistant Public Defender, appearing on behalf of my client. Please state your name for the record, sir.
Robert Droboszewski. Good morning. Your
Exactly what I said.
Thank you, Judge. My intern had a long conversation with my client. It sounds like there are several things he has some questions about, including he wants our office to interview the alleged victim in the case, and he wants us to go through with him what would happen with the competency situation that he has, I guess, refused up until this point. So if we could have maybe a 2-week adjournment, I'll sit down with him, go through all these questions, make sure he has all the answers, and have my investigator go and meet with the person he wants us to meet with and look into the bond situation that he has questions about. Was that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right. Will 2 weeks be enough?
Yes, Judge. You shouldn't
Get
take
that
it
done.
long.
Thank you, Your Honor.
November 14th, 2024, 9 a.m.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So
Bond continued.
Monday or Friday, you can always call the public defender's office. and
I
ask
won't
for-
call. I'll wait for you.
I'll come see you.
All right. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Take care.
Court calls case People versus Sabrina Garrison.
Saxon on behalf of Ms. Garrison is present, standing to my right. Ms. Garrison, state your name for the court.
Sabrina Garrison.
You're requesting an adjournment.
I am, Your Honor, and I don't know if a second adjournment will be necessary depending on if there's going to be video requested, because as stated, I just got the file.
Probable cause conference, November 14th, 2024, 9 a.m. Bond continued.
Your Honor, for the record, this is an animal cruelty matter where the Huron, Community Society Huron Valley investigator is present with surrender forms, if they wish to surrender animals to them.
Your Honor, she has started filling out the forms, but there's going to be a further discussion about remaining animals. There's a question of ownership, but at least 4 animals are being surrendered today.
How many animals are we talking about? And so there are 4 that are being surrendered?
Yes, there's another occupant in the residence, and those 4 of the animals are said to be his. And because I just got this case, we're trying to establish true ownership, because Ms. Garrison cannot sign over a release, sign a release if she does not.
Well, was she living with somebody? Is that what the deal was?
There's 2 occupants in that house, yes. I have spoken with the members of Huron Valley that are here right now, and they're willing to give us more time to discuss ownership of the other 4. So talks are continuing. I'm hopeful there will be a resolution short of trial.
It's also my understanding from the Humane Society that surrender, she's willing to surrender the animals that will go towards their restitution request ultimately for the cost of the care of the animals.
Well, I guess my question is she claiming they're not hers?
Correct. 4 are not hers.
So given the nature of the charges, if they belong to somebody else, then there's going to be additional charges coming?
Your Honor, I literally got this minutes ago. This case, I don't even have the file to read through it yet. All I have is what I got from Humane Society representatives and Ms. Garrison right now.
And that's
So
my understanding as well, because the public defender withdrew just about 10 minutes ago.
Oh, timely, I see. All right, well, how does one, I guess here's what I'm trying to figure out. How is one going to clarify ownership of these other four?
So 2 of the remaining 4 were puppies that were born from one of the animals that the Humane Society took into its care.
that is not hers. It's the
She's
other
alleging that
occupant.
that's one of the animals that was not her property. I'm not exactly sure how she intends to clarify whether or not these animals were hers, if she was residing in the home where the animals were at.
This isn't a tricky problem, Your Honor. If
What?
there are 2 people, and not towards you, but if there's 2 people, residents, both can get dogs or animals at separate times. So this is a matter of me interviewing the other occupant, finding out when, which animals he claimed and when
Right,
he.
I get you,
acquired
Ms.
them and
Sachs,
providing
but what I
proof.
don't want to have happen is somebody then not the other person coming back. I've been through this 1,000 times. They come back, they say they're not their animal, they're her animals, and then we don't have the release sign. So what I think should really happen in this case is the 4 that she acknowledges are that, she should also then, if she's claiming those other ones aren't hers, she should at least sign off whatever interest may be as to those other 4, so that we're not coming back and are saying, oh yeah, they're mine. Or that the sire of the puppies was hers, which may give her an interest in the puppies. That's a whole other issue.
We discussed that already. She specified that the sire of those puppies is not her, but we do have the signed form for the 4 she is claiming ownership of right now.
Apparently you didn't hear what I said.
I did hear what you said.
No, you didn't. Because what I'm indicating is that if there are 8 animals, the 4 should be signed off. She needs to put language in the other 4 forms that disclaim any interest and say that they belong to somebody else so that she's not coming back. That will be done. That will be a condition of her bond. With that condition, bond will continue. Thank you. Court calls the case, People versus Lewis Goodine.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Raymond Burkett on behalf of Mr. Goodine.
Your name, sir?
Oh, Louis Howard, good night.
Thank you. What are we doing?
Your Honor, may I go ahead?
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Your Honor, we're asking, I discussed this case thoroughly with the prosecutor, Ms. Hughes. We're asking this honorable court to adjourn this PCC until December 12th. She understands the reason, and Ms. Hughes says she has absolutely no objection if this honorable court will see fit to do that, sir.
That is correct. However, I didn't know he was gonna ask for December 12th. Could we go, I won't be here December 12th, and this is a case sentence. Does that work for me?
December 19th, will that work, Mr. Burkett?
December 19th? Yes, sir.
Probable cause conference will be adjourned December 19th, 2024, 9 a.m. Bond continued. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Appreciate that, Ms. Hughes.
Pardon?
So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. Court calls the case, People versus Michael Chase.
Good morning, Your Honor. Alexis Zerp, student attorney, appearing on behalf of Mr. Chase. Can you please unmute and state your name for the record, sir?
Hang on a second. We got to get you unmuted, Mr. Chase. Okay, we got you. Okay, Mr. Chase, state your name.
Michael William Chase.
Thank you, sir. He's
Thank you.
waving.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Chase, you're waiving your right to a preliminary examination?
Yes.
You understand that that's a proceeding where the people would have to show by probable cause that the offense alleged was committed and that you committed it?
Yes.
You understand you will not have that hearing and that you'll proceed to circuit court for further resolution?
Yes.
People also waive their right?
Yes, Your Honor, we do.
Preliminary examination having been waived, defendant is bound over to circuit court on the single count.
We acknowledge receipt of the information, waive formal reading, standing to the charges.
Defendant having waived formal reading, standing mute, court will enter a not guilty plea. Pretrial will be set for November 14, 2024, 1:30, Slay Thursday.
November 14, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you.
Bond in this matter will continue.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court calls case of the People versus Eric Harris.
Alexis Zerp, student attorney, appearing with and on behalf of Mr. Harris, who's approaching the podium.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir.
Eric Harris.
Thank you.
Your Honor, we are just requesting a brief adjournment to see if we can get an update from the mental health court.
What's the delay?
He had just said he got interviewed by the mental health court yesterday.
Day before yesterday.
Just when?
Day before yesterday.
So Tuesday, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, we should be able to get an update if he's been interviewed. November 14th, I'll turn this to 2024, 9 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Bond continued. Court calls case People versus Saya Collins.
David I. Goldstein, on behalf of the
See you, Colin.
See you. Okay. All right, what are we doing?
Your Honor, I just got retained on this matter this week. I do have some of the discovery, but if you ask me if I have it all, I'm going to have to say probably not.
All right.
The length of adjournment I'm requesting would depend to a certain extent on Ms. Londy. I believe what I don't have are videos. Given the nature of this case, there's almost has to be videos. So if she can get it to me by next week is fine.
He says it's all up to you,
I
Lonnie.
can't, well, God help us. I can't promise next week, Your Honor, but I can try for 2.
2 weeks?
Yes.
All right, thank you. 14th, Your Honor.
Did you see how Goldstein did that?
You picked a date?
Yeah,
I know.
I know. He's really getting on my last nerve. November 14th.
Can't be your last nerve, Your Honor. Then you're not that old.
That's true. That's true. Thank you. See, that's how he gets himself back on the good side. November 14th, 2024, 9 a.m. Bond continued. Thank you, sir. Court does call the case of the People versus Noor Kasham.
David I. Goldstein appearing on behalf of the defendant in both matters, Your Honor.
Your name?
Okay,
Good morning. What are we doing?
We're going to set these matters for prelim, Your Honor. They are somewhat related, but somewhat not related, but we can set them both for the same time.
Same time. Okay. And all discovery is complete.
To my knowledge, yes, Your Honor.
Would you be available to do it on the 12th?
I'm opening my calendar, Your Honor. The answer is yes.
Would the people have their witnesses available the 12th? Preliminary examination in person, November 12th, 2024, 9 a.m. That is before Judge Valvo.
Valvo?
Yes.
Your Honor, I know we did address bond briefly last time we were here.
Yes, we did.
But on the other hand, only one file was here at the time. So, Your Honor, I know that it's a little unusual in the situation that my client had a felony charge. When he was arraigned on that charge, the judge placed a bond condition that he would no go to, and he went. But he went for the sole purpose with the invitation of the complainant to pick up his clothes because he couldn't live there any longer. And that's what the second charge is, that he went to that location. Now, I realize there is also a PPO violation for the same thing. I went to take care of that yesterday. Without my knowledge, it had been adjourned. So I couldn't address that, but I will address that with Judge Slay if you agree to do something on the bond in these cases. But Your Honor, there was no allegation in the second case there was any physical abuse, any assault, anything of that nature, simply that he went to that location. And we believe that.
But that was a violation of the bond in the first case.
Yes, Your Honor.
Right. And at the time of the arraignment in the first case, he would have been informed that in order to do something like that, he needed to do it with a civil standby.
No, Your Honor. I was present at that arraignment, and unfortunately, he was not told that. That's the problem. He was not. So.
Well, you'd have to show me more than that because that's on the standard form. That's what defendants are apprised of. That's what he should have done and shouldn't have gone over there. Outside of that, my understanding is there was a PPO.
Correct.
On that. So I'd have to see more to believe that he wasn't apprised of that because he certainly would have happened. He would have also got the paperwork that would have contained that language on it. So for those reasons, a motion for bond reduction is denied.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I will say this, Mr. Goldstein, the issue that you did raise about the arraignment itself and your lack of notification after the hearing, after looking at it, I did address that.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court calls the case People versus Alina Bussell.
Ms. Bussell, can you please state your name?
Alina Bussell.
Thank you.
This will be a waiver, Your Honor.
Ma'am, is that correct? You're waiving your right to a preliminary examination?
Yes.
You understand that that's a proceeding where the people would have to show by probable cause that the offenses alleged were committed and that you committed them?
Yes.
You understand you'll not have that hearing and that you'll proceed to circuit court for further resolution?
Yes.
People also waive their right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Preliminary examination having been waived, defendant is bound over to circuit court on all 3 counts.
As to the arraignment, Your Honor? We acknowledge receipt of the information, waive its reading, and ask the court to allow my client to stand mute.
She doesn't say anything, then she's done it. Defendant every way forward reading, standing mute, court will enter a not guilty plea. Pretrial in this matter will be set for
December 23rd at 1:30 before Judge Slay Monday.
December 23rd, 2024, 1:30 Slay Monday.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Bond continued.
December.
Who? The one in pink?
Yeah.
Can you get the lady in the pink, please?
That just left out.
Yeah, it just walked out. Court does call the case of the People versus, do you have a copy of it? Court calls the case People versus Deshaun Glover. That's her. That's her. What's she gonna say? Okay, thank you.
Assistant Public Defender Hannah Apple appearing on behalf of Mr. Glover. Your Honor, he's in custody.
I know.
Morning, Your Honor. Attorney Quentin Dox. I just been retained on Mr. Glover's case.
Okay, I don't have a substitution. Did you send us a substitution?
I had to send it to the Washington County Defender's Office, Your Honor, so they could sign off on it. And then, so I didn't send it to you directly.
Have you seen it?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, well, somebody needs to get that to me.
If you want to email it
Her
to me,
office had
I
it.
can,
Okay, somebody, you guys do something. I'll call him out, but I don't have anything. I have the PD on the case, folks. Well, no, because I don't know who his attorney is. You hold Glover, because you guys get the paperwork in order. I'll call the case up. You can take him back.
Yes, Your Honor.
Glover, the one that, I don't know where she is.
She's
Okay.
over here. What's it on? Good, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well, let's call the case, People versus Alina Bustle. Recall,
Ashley Lonnie for the People.
Good morning, Your Honor. Marshall.
resisting and obstructing charges.
Okay. It was for an R and O? I mean,
Well, it was reduced to attempted, I think, but she didn't appear.
okay.
And she currently has a bond in that case of 10,000 with a 10% privilege on it.
Okay.
That she hasn't appeared. And she has this case also here pending, which also involves resisting and obstructing.
Well, clearly I was unaware of that. I would have had to take care of that, Your Honor. She had shown,
I would note that the PD represents her on the 14-2 matter.
Yeah, may I have that case number?
Certainly, it is 23-2-0143.
is that 22? Your Honor, I would ask the court to allow Ms. Bustle to go walk in on the warrant or do what is necessary. She has shown up for every court date here.
Go ahead.
She has and been in contact with my office and been very cooperative. I know I'm not the attorney of record on that matter, but I would be asking for that.
Well, what they can do is they can try to figure it out. They can contact Judge Barr's court and do that. But at this point, she didn't appear on that case. She's taken her into custody. Defendant's remanded on the warrant. Court does call the case, People versus Tanya Putman. Oh, dear.
Good morning, Your Honor. Sydney Rushing appearing on behalf of Ms. Putman, who appears to my right. Restate your name for the record, please.
Tanya Putman.
Yeah, a little bit louder.
Tanya Putman.
Thank you.
Who's on the Putman matter?
Sorry, Your Honor. What's the name?
Putman.
Thank you. Ashley Lonnie.
Your Honor, today is the date time set for a probable cause conference. At this time,
It is.
we're
That's what they're
requesting-
all set for. Go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor. We're requesting a preliminary examination in this matter.
All discovery complete.
Yes, Your Honor.
People have their witnesses available to 12.
We'll try, Your Honor. Thank you.
Preliminary examination in person, November 12th, 2024, 9 a.m. That is before Judge Burke. Oh, I got you. Before Judge Burke. Bond continued.
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
Thank you. Court does call the case, People versus Jeffrey Jackson.
Assistant Public Defender on behalf of Mr. Jackson. Mr. Jackson, please state your name for the record.
Jerry Jackson. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. The court should be in receipt of paperwork for Mr. Jackson as it relates to his treatment program we've been trying to get him into for the last 3 or 4 weeks. So I am requesting an adjournment on the file, and I am requesting a bond either as of today or as of November 4th, so he can go to the treatment program in Wayne County.
Do they?
And if a tether is required, I talked to your mom already. If the tether is required, then he would have no problem with the tether or whatever the court wants to assure he's where he needs to be, Your Honor.
Is there any objection to that from the people?
Leads to that specific treatment.
Yes.
And I just want to make sure I'm understanding the request. It's just for otherwise remain in custody right now, release only to that specific provider when
When it's done, and there would be a GPS tether. How much time did you want on the week? Because if he goes into treatment, then we may lose communication with him
That's
for
what
a
I was
while.
thinking, Judge. I was thinking maybe 3 or 4 weeks, please. Get him set up into treatment, please.
Why don't we do this and we'll see where he's at. November probable cause conference, I'll adjourn that to November 20. Well, let's just do the 26th,
Okay.
that Tuesday, 2024 at 9 a.m. And Mr. Feaster, and at this point, I'll have his bond continue. Mr. Feaster, if you prepare an order to that effect, to prove it by the prosecutor as to his release and a GPS tether, then I'm not gonna have a problem signing off on that.
Thank you, Judge. I'll get that to the people today. If we use some tether of force for the treatment program.
Oh,
Go definitely. Thank you, Judge.
thank you. Good luck, Mr. Jackson. Calls case people versus Tila Stevens.
National Line for the People.
And good morning, Your Honor. Sydney Rushing appearing on behalf of Ms. Stevens, who appears to my right. Restate your name for the record, please. A little bit louder.
Sheila Stevens.
Thank you.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. You're requesting an adjournment?
Yes, Your Honor.
This is the case where the defendant has been paying restitution privately to the victim. And my victim was able to get contact with the victim yesterday, so the restitution is almost completely done. But Ms. Rushing's information was that it was done, so we want to have a chance to double check that with the victim before we resolve the case.
And it may have been done after they spoke with the victim yesterday, because it did happen yesterday.
So Ms. Rushing said it was done.
Your Honor,
Did you believe her?
I did.
You did?
Yes.
Hmm.
Never lied to me.
Not me.
never.
I don't believe you.
Your Honor, it's my
Ms.
information.
Stevens, you have it all done, you think?
Yeah.
Okay. So you just need 2 weeks to confirm.
Yes, please, and thank you.
The only reason I'm doing this is because Ms. Stevens is nice. I don't know about Rushing. November 14th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome, ma'am. 9 a.m. bond continued.
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
Court calls the case people versus Kyle Lowe. Lee Lowe.
And good morning, Your Honor. Sydney Rushing appearing on behalf of Mr. Lowe, who appears to my right. Please state your name for the record, loud and clear, please.
Kyle Anthony Lowe.
Thank you. Your Honor, we'd like to schedule this for a preliminary examination.
All discovery is complete.
Yes, Your Honor.
The witnesses have would the people have their witnesses available to 12? Preliminary examination in person, November 12th, 2024, 9 a.m. That is before Judge Valvo.
Your Honor, may I briefly address bond?
Briefly.
Your Honor, we're asking that you consider reducing his bond back to a personal bond. The reason that he didn't appear at court last time is that he had lost his phone and was unable to secure a new phone by that date and time. He will be going to the Delana's house during the pendency of this. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yes.
But he also didn't appear. He did no community corrections. He didn't do anything.
Yes, Your Honor. He will be in compliance.
Motion for bond reduction denied. Bond will continue.
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
Thank you. Case of the people versus Melissa Milliken. Good
morning, Your Honor. Nicholas Rumel on behalf of Ms. Milliken. I've substituted in for the PD this morning. Thank you to the court and the staff for accommodating my late appearance.
Oh, not a problem. Was this the one that was set at 1?
Yeah.
It's set at 1 o'clock. And then Mr. Rumel was requesting to be seen this morning in the midst of my busiest part of the docket. Yeah. And the record should reflect that was really nice and I granted that, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I did? Oh, okay. I just was trying to get everything clear.
I acknowledge the record so reflects your.
All right. And good to see you, Mr. Romel, and you're requesting an adjournment.
Yes, we are, Your Honor. And if I could briefly address a bond condition.
Sure.
Ms. Milliken is here with her friend, Mr. Damon Mark, and they have a prepaid trip planned to Texas in August or November 8th through 16th. And
for why?
It's Mike Tyson boxing match with some other boxers.
No. No, I'm kidding.
Apparently,
sorry.
It's Mike Tyson, Jake Paul, Amanda Serrano, and Katie Taylor. It's going to be amazing.
Oh.
So we're requesting.
That could only take place in Texas.
It was rescheduled.
So So we're requesting permission that she be able to go out of state for that.
Okay, well, first of all, how much time did you need on an adjournment?
Probably not a lot, but I'm gonna be in Grand Rapids for depositions next week, so it's just.
I got the 14th, 21st, or 26th.
Well, 14th is when she's gone of November. 23rd was a date.
Well, no, 21st.
Thursday, the 21st, I have a deposition, and the 26th was another date.
That was the other day.
I could do that one.
All right.
You could do that one, November 26th.
Ms. Wyland, exceedingly nice. Right? Thank you. November 26th, 2024. That in the morning, right?
Yeah.
That's at 9 a.m.
9 a.m.
Yes, that's my split docket. So that one will be in the morning part of the docket.
We'll get copies of the notice.
Bond will continue. You want to travel what dates for this festival thing?
12th through the 18th, 12th through the 18th of November.
6 days to box? Fine. Defendant may travel.
You gotta do the whole atmosphere, the box gating. I don't know what they do.
Texas, what days again?
12 through 18.
November 12th through the 18th inclusive. Good luck. Godspeed to you. Good.
Okay.
I don't have an attorney. Thank you.
Oh, they can still box. Whatever. Court calls the case, People versus Jashawn Whitfield.
Randall Upshaw, P number 43574 on behalf of Mr. Whitfield. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir.
State your name for the judge. I'm Jashawn Whitfield.
Good morning. All right, what are we doing?
On behalf of defense, if I may. Today is a PC. I have the paper discovery. I had the opportunity to read it. The police mentioned a video. I would ask the court to either set a PC or an exam far enough, but I haven't seen the video and I would like to see the video for the exam.
Is there video there? Counsel, there's a.
The video was released to Mr. Vincent's office on the 23rd, so we turned over all of the video. I understand that Mr. Vincent was the prior attorney. Oh, I'm sorry, that was.
Oh, of course.
I clicked on the-
No, we'll all wait. You're welcome.
I do have that 3 items were sent through evidence.com on the 24th. So video were all
To who? Do you know?
to the attorney of record. So your office should have it. It was already disclosed.
Right, you didn't see. That's all right. That's good. So what I'll do, I'll just need you to fill out a green sheet for the adjournment, but I'll grant you the adjournment. Will 2 weeks work for you, Counsel?
Yes, Your Honor.
November 14th, 2024, 9 a.m. Bond will continue.
Thank you.
Thank you for taking it away. I just need to know. Court calls the case, People versus Sammy Dalal.
Morning, Your Honor. Dan Garrett on behalf of Sammy Dalal.
Morning, Your Honor. Sammy Dalal. Okay. What are we doing?
There's a resolution on the matter.
No delay, don't deferred.
Correct, Your Honor. Your Honor should have a signed advice of rights and a sentencing judge waiver.
I do.
Great.
May I have him sworn?
Raise your right hand. Solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
State your name.
Sammy Dalal. So my understanding is he's pleading to 2, 1, and 3 are dismissed? Yeah. Okay. Sir, it is this court's understanding that you're going to be pleading guilty to the charge of operating with the presence of a controlled substance. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's a misdemeanor. It is punishable by up to 93 days in jail, up to a $500 fine plus court cost. The court could order community service and any rehabilitative services the court deems necessary. The court could also order your vehicle immobilized, could order you to pay the cost of the prosecution as well as the cost of any emergency governmental services. You understand all of that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. You also understand, sir, that while I'm taking your plea, I would not be your sentencing judge in this case, and you would be sentenced before Judge Washington in the 14B District Court.
Yes.
Understanding all of that, you still wish to plead guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
And to that charge, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Now, you understand that by pleading guilty, you'll not have a trial of any kind. You signed an advice of rights form, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any question regarding any of those rights?
No questions.
Look at paragraph 5. Those are your rights which are part of a trial. You understand that by pleading guilty, you'll be giving up those rights as well as all the rights on that form.
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you on probation or parole?
No, Your Honor.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get
No,
you
Your
to
Honor.
plead guilty?
No.
Anybody threaten you or coerce you?
No.
You're doing this voluntarily
Yes, Your Honor.
of your own free will and because you believe that you are indeed guilty?
Yes.
October 27th, 2023, at the location of Ecorse Road near Harris in Ypsilanti Township, Washtenaw County, State of Michigan, were you operating a motor vehicle?
Yes, Your Honor.
Prior to operating that motor vehicle, you ingested a controlled substance.
I did, yes.
What was that?
Cocaine and fentanyl.
All right. And you knew you had ingested that?
I knew, yes.
Were you stopped by the police?
I was, yes.
Why'd they stop you?
Stopped me because I was at a red light and I passed out at the wheel.
All right. Were you ultimately arrested?
I was, yes.
And were you taken to the hospital for a blood draw?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did the blood draw results reveal the presence of fentanyl and cocaine and or its derivatives?
Yes, Your Honor, it did.
Do you have any reason to dispute those blood test results?
No reason to dispute it.
Counsel, have I complied with the court rule? Would it be proper to accept this defendant's plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will accept the defendant's plea of guilty to count 2, count 1, and count 3 are dismissed. Pre-sentence investigation and report as well as screening and assessment is ordered at 14B probation. Sentencing in this matter will be
December 12th at 10 a.m. with Judge Washington.
December 12th, 2024, 10 a.m. before Judge Washington. Bond with its conditions will continue.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Court calls the case, People versus Teresa Johnson.
How are you? Mike Gaddy, Assistant Public Defender for Ms. Johnson, who's here to my right, Judge. State your name, Ms. Johnson.
Teresa Johnson.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Your Honor, I submitted a green sheet in this matter.
Of course you did.
We're asking the court to adjourn this matter so I can investigate the mental health treatment court for Ms. Johnson.
How much time would you need to do that?
Your Honor, I would think maybe 2 or 3 weeks.
Probable cause conference November 21st, 2024, 9 a.m. Bond will continue.
Thank you, Your Honor. And I wasn't able to reach anyone to see if Ms. Johnson may be able to stay with them, but we may be filing a motion to for bond.
Understand.
All right.
Thank you. Court calls case People versus Pratithi. Is it Krishna? Krishna? I think. If I got the first name wrong, got the last one right.
Your Honor, Dan Garrett on behalf of Mr. Krishna, who's to my right. State your name.
Prithvi Krishna.
Sure.